All right, welcome to The Explainer, where we really dig into the data to figure out what's going on. The T20 World Cup has reached a fever pitch. We're down to just 4 teams, and the big question on everyone's mind is, who's actually going to make it to the final?
Okay, let's dive right in. But you know what? We're going to do this a little backwards. Instead of building up to a big conclusion, let's just start there, with the single most likely outcome of this whole tournament, at least according to the numbers.
Here it is, 28%. After all the chaos and the drama of the Super 8s, this is the number the statisticians have landed on. It's the highest probability for any potential final we could see.
But what does that number really mean? It seems so specific, right? It tells a story about the most probable path to that final trophy. So what is this future that the data seems to be pointing us towards?
Yep, you're seeing that right. The models are all pointing to a championship showdown between the hosts, India, and the always dangerous New Zealand. Now that's a pretty fascinating prospect, isn't it? So how in the world do we land on this specific conclusion? Let's unpack it. So, to really get how we might end up with that final, we first got to look at where we are right now. Let's rewind just a little bit to see how this whole semi-final stage got set, with the field narrowed down to just these 4 incredible teams. The last piece of the puzzle just clicked into place. When South Africa got that win, they completed their Super 8 run with a perfect, unbeaten record. And that one result locked everything in, confirming the semi-final matchups for us.
And boy, does this set up some massive clashes. Over in Kolkata, you've got the unbeaten Proteas taking on the super tough Kiwis. And then in Mumbai, oh man, it's a blockbuster. The hosts, India, are going head-to-head with a really powerful England side.
Okay, so with those 2 semifinals officially locked in, it means there are exactly 4 ways this can all play out. 4 possible combinations for the grand final. Let's take a peek at what the stats say about the probability for each and every one of them.
Now, what's really interesting here is just how tight this whole thing is. I mean, look at it. Yeah, an India-New Zealand final is out front at 28%, but the others? A South Africa-England final is right on its heels at 25%, and the other 2 are just a few points behind. This means all 4 of these outcomes are seriously in play.
But come on, we all know that numbers on a chart only tell you part of the story. So why does that India-New Zealand final have that little bit of an edge? To get that, we need to look past the percentages and start breaking down the key factors that are actually influencing these odds.
So let's start with India. Their advantage is kind of like a 1-2 punch. First, they have a really solid track record against their semifinal opponent, England. And then you amplify that strength with the insane energy of their home crowds. That combination, it's a huge factor in their path to the final.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the bracket, you've got South Africa, and they are the team that is absolutely on fire right now. They're riding this incredible wave of confidence that you only get from a flawless, unbeaten run through the toughest part of the tournament. That kind of momentum is a powerful thing.
And this right here perfectly shows the balance in that first semifinal. Even with South Africa's perfect record, you have New Zealand's legendary ability as chase masters. That reputation for staying cool under pressure and chasing down pretty much any total makes their matchup a virtual coin toss. It really evens the odds.
So, we've looked at the probabilities, we've gone through the logic, we've analyzed the form of these last 4 teams, and all of this brings us to one final, really fascinating thought.
And honestly, this is why it all matters so much, isn't it? Statistics can give us a roadmap. They show us the most likely futures, but that unmissable edge-of-your-seat drama of sports, that's forged in the moment. The numbers give us the context, but on the day, it's all going to come down to which team decides to write its own destiny and lift that cup.